So just so there's no smoke and mirrors, 8.9 hours on this machine. When we got it, it had 6. So we don't have a whole lot of runtime on this machine. I've had firewood processors before. I understand firewood processors and firewood very well. So I know what I'm looking for. Kevin has never run a firewood processor. So this right here, this is something new for him. And I think he's gonna do a pretty good job because Kevin pays attention and he's cautious. So let's get to work. Well, good morning and welcome to Willie's Firewood. My back is feeling better-ish, not much. Kevin, we're gonna put on the Cord King 1820 today, and we are gonna let Kevin go and get his feet wet and see what he thinks of this machine. I don't expect a long review, but let's get to work and let's find out, and let's fill these roadside racks up. And as you guys saw, Little Red does okay, even with the big logs. Doesn't seem to bother it a whole lot. We put the counterweight on the back that we got at Scott SR1 in Orono. It used to be Scott's Recreation. And that seems to do a really good job. But in a second here, we're going to talk about logs and why it's important to talk to your logger and try to get what you need for logs, because what we've got that we're picking through for a pile right here is less than desirable. It works, but it's not what we need. So let's go take a look at the log pile, and I'll show you what we mean. So we've got big logs, 20-inch plus diameter. We've got logs that are a little less than desirable, and then this is nice stuff. These are like 12-inch, somewhere around there. Those are okay. I like those. Those are fine. But let me show you what else came with this. curve with these things. Kevin's a quick study though, he'll do a good job with it. Lots of nice looking firewood out of this stuff. These aren't very big logs either. He's getting the hang of it. So this is a good indication of a brand new operator that's not run a lot of heavy equipment. Kevin's only run log splitter and my small tractor, that's about it. But he's doing a fairly good job with this in just a short amount of time. I'll show you in a minute how much he's cut so far. Onto the button too long and it tripped the safety. He remembered. So little buddy, you ran the new Firewood processor. What do you think?
I love it.
You love it?
Yep.
Makes firewood easy.
Yep.
Think you're getting used to it?
Yep.
Yeah? So
It would take a couple tries.
what do you like the best about it?
Just about everything.
Just about everything. What do you like the least about it?
I don't know yet.
Don't know yet? All right. man of many words right there. Kevin's review of the Cord King 1820. So as you're running the machine, this is with the wedge set all the way down. You get a nice 3x3 split. As the wedge creeps up, because you get knots or you're pushing and you're not paying close enough attention, it starts to come up. You can see this is quite a bit taller. And then if it goes all the way up, you can see we're even bigger yet. Now these are great home heating wood size pieces. This is what we're after. This is what pays the money. And it makes a difference if you're using that wedge, what you're paying attention to and what you're running for wood. Your wood will make stuff like this happen. And I'll show you with this piece right here. So this has got a big twist in it. This is not a nice log. This had a big knot. And that knot created a force on that wedge and it picked the wedge up some. And the wedge is gonna sink back down if you get these pieces out of here. So you've got to resplit them to drop the wedge back. That's the disadvantage of the hydraulic wedge that's on there. You have to pay a little bit of attention, but if you pay attention, this is what comes through every single time. And that's what this machine is really gonna be key for, is making wood in these two sizes. This is our bundle and bagged wood. This is our restaurant wood. This is home heating and it will do it, but that's not what we were after today. So we're getting the kindling small split filled back up. Got a couple there. And then when we turn the corner, this is where we're working on. We've got this. And if you see, most of this is pretty uniform. This is coming out of that repeater wedge that's on the Cord King. But I'm gonna show you some differences and show you what happens when you're new and what you're gonna learn as you go. So when you have a processor like that, and you have a pile of logs like that, what do you get? You get a bunch of junk like this. And it's not junk, it's still usable, but we'll talk about it later on. I pay anywhere from $140 to $175 a cord for my firewood right now, depending on where it comes from. And I'm gonna be paying even more than that for some firewood coming up right off quick, because I can get processor grade firewood that is dry, that's been down for a while, and we're gonna work on that. Because with a machine sitting here like the Cord King, we've got to have decent wood. The wood that's on the deck right there, yes, it will run through it. It is not ideal for that processor. So we need to do our due diligence to make sure that if we're gonna have a machine like that, we have the wood to go through it. Now, I've had a bunch of people ask, and I've never really gone over this, about why we get what we get for firewood. Pretty much, I have to get what we get, and I can't complain a whole lot, because if I do, I won't get any more. But we get a wide array and assortment, and I'll show you some of the stuff that I'm picking off to the side with the tractor that I'm not putting through the processor, and some of the logs that are left in the pile that I would call less than desirable. So when you look at the rounds that Gramp cut, you can see we go from tops all the way to good processor size pieces, but it ranges in size. And this load, even though it looks straight now when it's all blocked up, this was very, very, very crooked wood. This 12 cord load would not have run through the processor. So it makes a difference. So looking from the side, we've got some bigger stuff here down in the bottom that we're gonna get to. And this is the stuff that the processor likes. But again, stuff that's been snapped off. We'll clean it up with the chainsaw best we can. There's a log that's split in the bottom. This is poor grade firewood. It works, but it's not the best. This stuff here is all small tops. These are less than 6" in diameter, and the pieces that are bigger, like this big chunk of oak down here, you can see has a giant knot that's been snapped off. We've got another oak that's decent size here, but it's got a great big knot and a crook in it. And then we've got another piece that's bent, got a big knot. I mean, this stuff has to be worked up by hand to be efficient. And even then, it's not the most efficient, but it is what it is. In the pile over here, we've got a bunch of small tops that are down here in the bottom that I've got to move around. There's a great big forked crotch piece. That wouldn't be able to go to the mill, but this came off a land clearing job. So up here, another big crotch. There's a nice processor log sitting on top there. That's going to be a beauty, other than there's one knot in the top, but I'll cut that off. I'll take a 16" round off that. Let's go to the side of the pile and we'll look at it. So guys, a little bit every day goes a long way. Kevin did a little bit of processing. We got a little bit of delivering done. We got a little bit of wood in the racks. Today was a good day. The back is feeling okay. I'll take it. It's a win. We're going to still chip through this pile. Not the best looking stuff, I know, but we're gonna get through it, and we're gonna get some nicer stuff in here, and we're gonna put this machine to work for what it's designed to do. And we'll bring you guys along every step of the way. I'm gonna show you the things that we like, and I'm gonna show you the things that we don't like as we go through this machine, because I want you to have an informed decision. You need to know what it is that you're trying to purchase and buy. So help someone if you can, guys. And tomorrow, probably gonna do something with this pile of small stuff. Haven't decided what yet, but we're gonna do something with it. I'll bring you guys along when we do. So we'll see you on the next one.